Hi, it's Ndetu. I'm a photographer, motion designer, and video editor. In today's video, we're going to be talking about tech, precisely the domains of software engineering and programming. We're going to meet with leading professionals in the domain and have them share their experiences with us. This is the brains behind. With the advancements of technology in the last few decades, smartphones and computers are now capable of so much more than we could ever imagine. With the easy accessibility to the internet and the numerous opportunities it offers, lifestyle has become so much more convenient and easy. These technologies that have created millions of jobs, raised entire nations out of poverty, has also made billionaires out of the brains behind them. With the boom in the IT sector, thousands of young people around the world have indulged in the fields of computer engineering and software development. Joining us today are three young Cameroonian programmers who have seen the opportunity in the growing technology market and have braved up to the task, hoping to make a name for themselves. They are going to give us an insight on their specialty and tell us how they sail through in an African context. Here is their story.
Hello, my name is IVANGE. I'm a computer programmer and software development consultant based in Boya.
Hi, my name is FONGOH. I'm a software engineer and entrepreneur and the founder of Digital Renter.
Hello guys, my name is NYAGA. I am a full stack developer by profession and I am also the CEO of Group Temateq, which is a tech consultancy agency based here in Cameroon.
Computer programming is the process of designing and writing executable computer programs to perform a particular task. This task could be as simple as calculations in maths or automating some processes, or it could still be as complex as writing graphic-intensive games or building enterprise web applications. Before deciding to become a computer programmer, I wanted to be a medical doctor. But in secondary school, I watched this movie, Die Hard 4, and I was very much fascinated by the things I saw that could be done through computers. And since then, I made up my mind I wanted to be a hacker or computer programmer. And I inquired and was advised to come and do computer engineering in the university. So I had a friend that was a freshman at the University of Boya. He was the one that introduced me to programming in high school. He would leave Boya to come to Tico to teach us programming. And in high school, my mom bought me a desktop computer where I also installed Linux and started learning how to code in C. Then I got to the university and signed up for computer engineering. It has been an interesting journey. Like I said, I started programming in high school with C programming. Then I got to the university, I continued programming in C. It was also a course in the first year at Faculty of Engineering. So after programming in C, I later taught myself an object-oriented programming language, which was Java. And when I was a little bit comfortable with the basics of the Java programming language, I then started contributing to open source. I joined the OpenMRS organization. OpenMRS, an open source health software provider, and I contributed for about 6 months. Then I got accepted to the Google Summer of Code internship, and after the Google Summer of Code internship, OpenMRS invited me for their conference in Uganda. That was December 2016. And then in 2017, I was accepted for another Google Summer of Code internship. Then this time I received a scholarship from the Linux Foundation to attend a conference in Los Angeles. That was the Open Source Summit. In the same year, 2017, in December, I had another scholarship by the Cloud Native Foundation to attend a conference in Austin, Texas. In 2019, I had joined Brightcore as a backend software engineer, and PyCon Africa was coming up, and I applied to give a talk. My talk was accepted at PyCon Africa, and I was sponsored by Brightcore to attend PyCon Ghana and give my talk.
2016, while I was in the University of Boya, I noticed a lot of students who were coming to school faced a lot of difficulties finding the right room in the right location for their right prices. Now, on further research, I saw that this problem was prominent in big cities like Douala and Yaoundé, where people who are transferred find it difficult to find a house of their choice before they transfer. So doing some research, I noticed this was due to the fact that there was inadequate housing information. So we built Digital Renter, a web and mobile application which does one thing. It connects people who are looking for houses and lands to purchase and to rent, and those who actually have them. These people who have lands have properties, could be landlords, landladies, real estate agents and agencies who provide housing information. So with our platform, we bring the people who are searching and we bring the people that have and we connect them together. So far we're working in various towns in Cameroon. We're working in Boya, in Limbe, we're expanding to Douala and Yaoundé such that it becomes the #1 house search platform in Cameroon and why not Africa. While I was young, I had the passion for electronics, computing, and I was exposed to computer early enough. So doing a lot of stuff, Microsoft Word, Publisher, designing stuff, that really gave me a lot of interest into the world of technology. I wanted to see how I can build my own games, my own small softwares. So that's what actually pushed me into IT. Then I enrolled into the university program from my early year 2 up to the last year. I started volunteering in startups, learning how to write code, improving my skills up to when I graduated. It's a nice thing to be an entrepreneur, but entrepreneurship is not for everybody. It's a tough field, it's a difficult field, it's a field of persistence, sacrifice, patience, long endurance. Now, when you mix being an IT person and being an entrepreneur, it's both good and bad. It's good in the sense that you get to direct where the focus of your product is. Like, for example, I'm an engineer, I'm building a tech product. So I get to be involved in the day-to-day activities of the development. I get to write code, I get to follow marketing. So I understand what the developers think, I understand what my business thinks.
I schooled at the University of Boya, where I had my first degree in education. So specifically, I studied education and biology. So I'm supposed to be a biology teacher. But after my studies at the University of Boya, I realized this passion and heart for programming. But I did not have an engineering background, so I decided to attend an online boot camp from a school they call Microverse, where I obtained my Microverse certificate. Given that I did studied biology in the university, but doing computer science, becoming a software engineer now, well, I would say first is because of the flexibility software development provides. For example, the flexibility of working at home. I remember back then we were in the midst of this Anglophone crisis, but most of my friends, software developers, were constantly working from home. So it was kind of an added advantage. And additionally, I I have the passion for creating things, making things with my hands. So my own way of expressing my artistic work was through the computer. Reasons why I decided to join the web development school. Immediately after the time I spent at Microverse, I spent 4 years doing job search. That was kind of one of the hardest moments in my life. So after 4 months of doing job search, I landed my first contract, which was an internship at Protas Venture, which is a US-based company. After that, I started landing local contracts here in Cameroon, building applications for companies and for individuals.
The biggest problem for me has been infrastructure. So a lot of times I get problems of internet or light. So when there is no light, when light comes back, maybe I don't have internet. So this sometimes causes a lot of trouble. I think in 2018 there was shutdown of internet. I had to move out of Southwest just to be able to code. My last contract, I kept talking a lot about how I don't have internet or there's no light, and at some point it felt like I was making excuses, but these were actually problems that I was facing.
The difficulties that I faced initially when I started, I did not really have a laptop, but then thanks to my father, he got me a laptop almost at the end of my first year, so it actually helped to boost my learning capacity and all that. Also, internet was usually a bit of an issue for us to do research about what is trending, how to write clean code, how to write optimal code, how to write effective code. Internet was really not affordable at that time. Yes.
I did not get past certain stage of certain interviews because I was in Africa, specifically in Cameroon. So whenever we get to the level where we need to introduce ourselves, after recruiters get interested and attracted to my cover letter, my portfolio, but when it comes of location, when I let them know that I'm in Cameroon, they will just suddenly lose interest.
A lot of organizations out there still don't believe they can get good programmers from this part of the world, so they tend to leave out on a lot of talent. They tend to ignore your applications.
Secondly, the well-known Anglophone crisis has been plaguing Southwest and Northwest for over 4 years now, has definitely affected our business. It's definitely affecting a lot of other businesses in the Silicon Mountain, preventing growth or reducing the growth rate in the mountain. The amount of investors that may have come in have actually reduced because people are scared to invest their money in a place which is unstable. But thank God things look or seem they are getting better and people are coming back. Obviously there is the financial problem. I mean, funding, which startup will not complain about funding? But out here it's a bit, it's kind of more difficult in Cameroon when it comes to funding, because you're not looking at, the government is not really, I've not seen any funding put in place, and even for the fundings that have been put in place, it gets to end at a certain hierarchy. It doesn't reach the right people. The wrong people get the funding, and then they'll say they have funded startups. And even international funders, they tend to are really hard because of the political situation, because of the legal status of the country. It's hard to maybe pin down an entrepreneur, especially when they don't deliver on their promises. So the legal part of the country makes it hard for entrepreneurs to thrive.
Sometimes you might apply for a job with a company in the US and they tell you they are not able to do business with Cameroon because of the laws in Cameroon, so they will not be able to hire you. Another problem is the forces of law and order sometimes mistake you. When you walk around with a laptop, they mistake you for an internet fraudster and they tend to harass you a lot of times.
Again, the issue of electricity and unstable connection in Cameroon. So those were some of the issues I faced, and I also had a lot of financial issues. But thank God for my parents, they had to support me through every stage of the process.
Computer programming or software development, as some people call it, is a viable source of income. So there are a lot of, it depends too on your skills and experience. That determines how much you can make from it. But you can make a lot of money either as a freelancer or as an employee. You tend to make a lot more money if you have, depending on the skills too, you tend to make a lot more money as a freelancer, as you get to take a lot of different projects and you charge clients differently. Or you could also work as an employee. There are opportunities to work for international companies as a remote software developer. So you can apply from Cameroon and work for companies abroad. So I've worked with companies in Germany, I've worked with companies in the US.
Currently, Digital Renter is making money for us. It's making money for over 50 real estate agents. It's making money for over 500 landlords on the platform. It's making money even for people who just see houses on the field and then tell people and then get a referral bonus to get a referral commission.
I would say working as a computer programmer has a lot of advantages over maybe becoming a teacher, which I wanted to do, or that most of my friends are doing, because first it opens me to the international job market. So I'm not just limited to working in local companies in Cameroon. And I would say most of my interviews and most of the jobs I've had are freelancing works with clients in Europe, clients a little bit all over the world.
We don't just want to end up doing maybe limited to this vicinity. We are building something that if you come to Digital Renter and you don't find a house, it means you cannot find it anywhere. So it has a long-term plan, and it also has a short-term plan. So the long-term plan will run like 5-10 years, where it will be the number one. It will be that platform. It will be the platform, the eBay for vacant houses, the Google for vacant houses and lands.
Well, in 5 years, I still see myself writing code, a lot of code, but I'm not sure as just a software engineer. I hope to have taken a leadership role, because my dream is to actually run my own software company someday. Maybe I might not start it, but I might be co-founder at some point, but I need to play a major role in leading the vision of such a company. So my vision is to one day run such an organization, and also to bring Cameroon to the spotlight, to the point where programmers will not be facing issues like discrimination, because people might not think people might think they are not competent enough based on their location. So one of my dreams when I was attending a lot of conferences, I told a friend, was I don't just want to travel abroad for conferences again. I want to organize a conference where someone from America will book a flight to Cameroon that they want to attend this conference that is happening in Cameroon.
We just completed a project they call SafeConstruct. So SafeConstruct is a web application that facilitates the tracking of construction progresses. So you could be in America, you could be in Europe, you could be in Australia, and you have a project here in Cameroon, and you don't have people to follow up the project for you. So SafeConstruct app can do that for you. So it gives you an estimate of your construction progress. It helps you keep all your construction documents together, and it helps you with a lot of statistics that would help you detect if your architect are actually stealing from you, or maybe they are inflating the prices of construction materials and stuff like that. We also have this project on a queue, Selam Creek. Selam Creek is like a platform where shop owners, you may not be owning a shop locally, but you could come and buy a shop space on Selam Creek. So generally, it's a platform that connects buyers to sellers.
Working remotely, there are a few softwares that are required. You would need to communicate with your colleagues, with the company, the rest of team members that are located in different countries. Since you are not all located in the same building, you will need software for that. So for communication, there's usually two kinds of communication. There's chat-based There is video calls. So for chat-based, a lot of people use Slack. There are other tools like Discord. For video, you use things like Zoom when you need to have meetings with your teammates, maybe weekly meetings. Sometimes they happen once a week, sometimes twice a week, depending on the company policy and the team. You also need a way to share the code you are working with other teammates. They cannot come and look at your machine. Since they are located in different countries across different continents. So things like that, we use GitHub or Bitbucket or GitLab. So companies select these tools differently based on their needs and based on the licenses, because licenses are very important. When you're working with a remote company, it usually starts by cloning their project on GitHub. Depends, they might have an issue tracker. So another software is an issue tracker where they put all the tickets, the things you have to work on. So you go on the issue tracker, you as a senior engineer, you might go and pick things yourself, or you might see a need in the system and you bring it up during the product meeting. Depending on what you're trying to fix, there are different ways you could start with that. If it's a bug, you try to first reproduce a bug. That is, you try to make sure there's an actual bug. So if someone reports that if they click the login button, it doesn't log in. So the first thing you do is to try to click the login button and see if it logs in, if the bug is actually there. How do you get remote or freelancing gigs? There are multiple platforms for that based on your needs. So if you're looking for a very short-term gig, say maybe something that is going to last a few weeks or just a few hours, and you get paid, you usually need just a freelance contract. So you could go on platforms like Upwork, search for freelancing gigs based on your skills. You submit a really strong application. It's a competitive world, so your application needs to be strong for it to be considered. If you are looking for a longer term gig, say maybe a full-time job with a company abroad, so in this case, you need to visit more of remote job boards. You can still get these from Upwork, but most people that post their jobs on Upwork are usually looking for short-term, say even if it's going to be long-term, usually like 6 months. But you can get really full-time jobs remotely from platforms like Stack Overflow, We Work Remotely, or remotive.io.
For high school students, if you want to become a computer programmer, I would advise signing up for computer science or software engineering.
The University of Wales offers a Bachelor in Computer Science, and Cali University, St. Monica, and a host of others. Now, when you are in the university, don't focus only on school. That's the thing that a lot of people make the mistake. Don't focus only on school. Find a local startup and join. Because while you are in that local startup, you are trying to get a balance between school and the professional world. There's this meme, they will say you graduate from school at 25 and then somebody wants you to have 10 years of working experience. You can have it. You can have it if you start volunteering in an organization early enough while you're in school. Don't wait that at the end of it when you're done with your education. That's when you go and then start learning something from a mentor. Now, once you've graduated, the advice is don't go start a business, right? This might be controversial. A lot of people might say, oh no, you started that and you don't want people. I say don't go start a business. Get under an entrepreneur that is doing something in the direction of IT. Work under the entrepreneur for 2 to 3 years. While you're working, you're understanding the business concept, you're understanding the ethics of that business, you're understanding how to develop your own product, you're understanding the loopholes in society, you're learning how to be an employer. Because for you to be a good employer, you need to be an employee. Once you understand what an employee does, you understand the stress that an employee goes through, you will not treat your employees like trash. I'm still under the mentorship of Active Spaces, which I would say they are my own boss, so I learn from them before I implement my solution. So you could take the route of going under a startup or going under an incubator after you graduate, and then learn from them 2 to 3 years, develop your business idea, understand the market, learn how to be an employee, and then you can become an employer. Then from there now you can now go do whatever you want to do.
Then for people that say maybe are already established but want to change field, or maybe you had a bachelor's degree in something else, or you have been working as something else.
My background or my path should be a kind of encouragement to you, because I didn't do computer engineering in school. I haven't, even in high school, I didn't do computer science. I had no background. But here am I today. I'm a software engineer and I'm making some good money from it. So what I would advise you is
join a bootcamp. There are a lot of online bootcamps. You can join local ones.
Go to platforms like Free Codecamp, Udemy, Coursera. You find free courses out there. Challenge yourself, learn.
Get a mentor. A mentor is really, really important. A mentor is going to guide you on what to learn and at what time to learn this.
So the mentor will take you through choosing a programming language and how to learn those languages based on your background.
Don't bother about the age. I mean, what you're going in for is the skill. It could be somebody younger than you, could somebody older than you, could someone of a different sex than you. So go for what.
Make sure after getting to a certain level, you start building real-world applications, like real-world applications which actually solve a specific problem. And to master your skills very well, I will also encourage you to get into contributing to open source projects like OpenMRS and other open source projects. And most importantly, make sure you're passionate about what you're doing. If not, you may not be able to get to the end.
So if you're looking for a house, you just go to digitalrenter.com. You'll be served with a homepage, and on the homepage you can see a list of properties. You can filter by house type, apartment, studio, single room, and by the location, like maybe Boya, Douala, Kumba, whatever. So once you see the property you're interested in, click on it to view the details. On the details page, you can see a slideshow of the pictures that are available, the parlor room, kitchen and toilet. You can see the description, the initial deposit, the price, and maybe more description about the house, how far is it from the road, the water supply. Now, if you're interested in this house, you come on this left side or the right side, I'm interested in this property, and you submit your request. Once you submit your request, your name, email, phone number, and the message and submit, you will receive a success page, and the agent will receive your request and get back to you. Now, if you're a landlord, a real estate agent or agency wishing to lease out or rent out a new home or renovated home or sell a property, you come to advertise my property on the top right corner. Once you click on advertise my property, this page will load that shows you why you should advertise and how you can own your own space. You proceed by downloading the app. You click on download the app. It will direct you to a Play Store where you can install the application. It's free, by the way. So once you install it, you create a free account. You can post your properties as many as you wish, and once clients see it, they'll be able to reach out to you on the app via SMS, via call, and most importantly via WhatsApp in case they are interested in your property. So the magic link is www.digitalrenter.com. Find vacant houses without the stress.
Okay guys, it was good time I spent with you. Thanks for watching the brains behind. So I would like you guys to just press on the subscribe button below to get notifications whenever a new episode is up.